Good morning. Good morning, all my lovely warriors and survivors of trauma and life's unexpected and sometimes bad choices brought on us that we are now working through as we get older in our adult lives. And, we finally realize that we have a lot of wreckage we got to work through. Well, I do. I'm just speaking for myself and my experiences. I have an appointment this morning and I really have to get ready. So I thought I'm going to do what I've seen other people do, which is I'm not big into putting a lot of makeup on. I don't have a lot of fancy makeup, but I'm going to look in an apartment today and I want to look my best. Okay, let's get into this. The last place I left off was with my stepfather had put me in my room, locked me in my room after an experience through the night, and I found out I was adopted. So in school, I did very poorly. I was not liked in school, not the school that I was in anyway. At that particular time, I had done a lot of acting out, like stealing from people, and oh my goodness. I don't even know, probably trying to start fights. People didn't like me. I guess I was seeking attention, any kind of attention, and much at that time was negative. And so therefore it got me a lot of trouble. Yeah, I had a bad name, and they got me punished a lot at home as if I didn't have enough stuff at home to worry about. Wow, I'm not liking that at all. But anyway, it's just too dark. I was in seventh grade, and things were so bad that I failed, and and I think I thought it was a blessing. We were getting ready to move. My parents were going to buy a home, and I thought, wow, we're moving to a nice little suburban town. Things can get better, in my mind. That's not what happened, though. We moved, and things did not get better. My life actually got progressively worse. Are you kidding me? I don't have a brush. Oh my goodness, this is not gonna work. All right, I have to go get it. I just have to take y'all with me. Um, Sorry, this is not what I'm wearing, but this is my stuff attire for just getting ready, my nighttime sleep-in, moo-moo type things. But okay, so we're moving away from this place that we're living now, which is row houses, so it's like three half a double stuck together and not really a lot of privacy. So where we're moving, we're going to have our own yard, a pool in the backyard. It was a 3-bedroom, and I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty excited, but for not. My stepfather seemed to become even more angry, and it could have possibly been the fact that he had a lot of bills. You're paying for a house, I'm sure there's insurance, they had 2 cars, 4 kids they're trying to support, and he's an alcoholic, and she's passive aggressive because she has issues she hasn't worked through. My mom that adopted me, and I'm an adopted child, and who raised me was my adopted mother. So finally, at the age of 15, now we'd moved, and I just wasn't fitting in. I was trying to commit suicide. My stepfather had actually really tried to grope me at this point and just like tell me not to tell my mother, and I was scared, and I just couldn't do this anymore. So I did. One night he came home and he had a big bag of Middlesworth barbecue potato chips. Now I'm 15 at this time, and very awkward. I don't really feel pretty. I don't feel pretty at all. I'm very awkward and I feel ugly. And he comes in with these chips, which are my favorite, Middlesworth barbecue, my favorite. And he throws them on the table. I'm like, oh, Daddy, can I have some of those? He's like, oh, here, Queen. He picks up, throws it at me, says, eat the whole bag. I was crushed. I'm not going to lie to you. I was thinking to myself, like, why does this man hate me so much? And in that moment, I felt my whole spirit just begin to just be devastated, and I wanted to just get out of there. I just wanted to get out of there. That's all I wanted, and I just wanted to run away, and I did. I ran. He chased me. He did. I give him that. But I was 5'6", 130 pounds, in good shape. I was in athletics, and I jumped a bunch of fences. I finally got away, and I went to the person's house, the only person in school that would even give me the time of day. Her name was Gretchen Morris. She was very pretty. Her mother was very nice. They let me come in that night, and then the next day we called Children's Services. At that time, I believe they didn't have children and youth and all that good stuff. But we did call Children's Services, and they were going to move me out of the home, but I ended up getting very sick with pneumonia. So I was forced, they advised me to stay with my adopted parents until I could heal before going to the group home that they were going to send me to. So that's what happened. And my mother, my adopted mother, she begged me not to go. She said, please. And I said, no, I can't. I can't live here anymore. I'm not happy, and I don't feel like I'm part of this family. And, you know, there's just things going on. And I just, in my heart, I knew I wasn't going to be protected. So why would I want to stay? I didn't want to stay. So I left. I went to the group home, but because I'd never been in a social situation, you know, these girls had these boyfriends, and some were good looking. I didn't realize I was a pretty girl till I got in the group home, and I had a little freedom. And then all of a sudden, all these guys, they started liking me. And you know what? Because I didn't have any etiquette, social skills, or was never taught, don't hone in on other people's man and property. Of course, I took them up. I was young and excited about life, but then I started drinking, and so I'd already been drinking before I left home in the basement to drink my pain away when I found out my dad's beer helped that. But besides that, you know, I really wasn't doing very good. And so I ran away again because the girls were threatening to hurt me, and I thought, no, fuck this, I'm out of here. So I hitchhiked to New York City with this girl I had went to school with, and we were never friends in school. I don't even know why I hitchhiked with her now that I look back and think about it. But she left me in Grand Central Station and went off with a couple of fellas who said they could get her into, I guess, pictures, movies, you know. And I mean, looking back now, I'm not trying to toot my horn or anything, but girlfriend wasn't all that good looking. She had a really big face, square, kind of looked like a man, but okay, oh well. So she took off and left me there in Grand Central Station, and then this guy came up to me, and by that time I'm crying, I'm scared. He's trying to help me, seemed so nice. He was a predator. Told me if I had the money, he could get me a little room close to the place, and I could come back and next day, get the bus if I need to go somewhere. He'd help me. So we went and got a room. Oh my God, the room was horrible. Springs sticking up out the bed. It was filthy. I don't even remember how much it was, but it left me with like $40 or $60 in my pocket. And he went and got some beer and came back, but he raped me that night, all night. I had to run naked the next day to get away and wait for him to leave the building before I could go get help. And then I ran into my husband, my children's father, who became my pimp. Then my husband, I ran into his brother, who treated me to breakfast and took me back to the hotel room where I met my soon-to-be significant other. And I'm going to leave it there because I have stuff I have to do. I can't focus on what I'm doing right now with the makeup and everything. I'm just not a do more than one thing kind of person. And I got to upload this and get up before noon because I made a promise. It's already 9 and I'm leaving here at 11:30. Still have much stuff to do. I love you all guys so much. Like, telling my story is cathartic for me. I mean, it's helping me, but I hope it helps somebody else who's maybe stuck in a situation, or they're in like a cycle of life they can't seem to get out of, because that's where I was. It was like I just kept repeating the same thing. And it would be a different guy, but he'd be a different package, but the same kind of stuff inside, you know, or, you know, I just couldn't get away from the addiction. Oh, I struggled with addiction my whole life, and alcohol. Well, I'm not alcoholic anymore, praise God, you know, but that's because I got shot, so I can't drink. I only got a third of my pancreas. And I'm going to tell that story next for a friend of mine. I was trying to do everything in increments and lead up to it, but because there's a friend of mine who wants to hear about that, I'll go and do that particular segment ahead of the actual rest of the story that I could tell on how it felt to be shot. Nearly had my life end, and what went through my mind, how did I feel, what did I see? Well, it wasn't all that incredible in one way, and another way it was. So we'll talk about that the next time. God bless y'all. I love you. Keep your faith, keep your chin up, smile, you're worth it. Believe that. I love you. Have a good one.